It's unusual that we might be talking about the oak trees in fall since they release their pollen or most of their pollen in spring, and it depends on the type of tree. But we are going to talk about oak trees today with our friend Will Johnston. Will Johnston is the district manager of Davey Trees in South Austin. Will, thanks for your time today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right. I'm asking a two-part question here. Are
Uh,
oaks drought tolerant or are they adversely affected by too much rain?
there are some oaks that are drought tolerant, and there are some oaks that aren't. The oaks in the central Texas area, for the most part, are typically your more drought tolerant oaks. The live oak is one of the leaders of the pack. Bur oak. There are two different kind of things that I normally will see caused by too much rain. One of them is the soil can get so saturated that the roots, which also breathe, so the leaves of the tree release oxygen and intake CO2. The roots are kind of like us. They release CO2 and intake oxygen. We can start to see some symptoms such as yellowing or tender, drooping leaves. On some of these juvenile to middle-aged trees, especially some of the more shallow-rooted oaks, when we get a lot of rain, their roots will sometimes slip in the soil. So sometimes we'll see a tree suddenly shift direction and then things dry out and they grow for another 30 years. Sometimes we see them slip entirely and fall over.
How do they help our ecosystem?
Oaks, like all trees, are going to sequester carbon. So what that means is they take CO2 out of the air and turn it into food for them. Um, they turn it into more wood. Basically, they provide a lot of shade for not just people, but animals, plants. The final ecosystem service that they provide is they produce a lot of acorns and food for other trees. They're a habitat for insects, squirrels.
What are the best oak trees here for Central Texas?
I think pound for pound, the live oak is the absolute best tree for this part of the state. Other great trees to plant, I think bur oaks, chinkapins, Monterey oaks.
Well, thank you very much for your time today. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem at all, Rich. Thank you for having me.